Hi, my name is Lourdes Soto, and I'm doing this segment for the Salon Exotica via LS social influence segment. And today, what I want to talk about is something that is being made more aware of by people like Ashton Kutcher, and it deals with the subject of human trafficking. Now, I think that for many of us, we sort of believe that it was maybe pretty much a thing of the past, okay? And actually, I'm sort of one of those people that sort of thought that on some level, okay? But when you hear of experiences of a flight attendant on of an airline that was able to discern that there was something wrong with the passengers, that there was this young girl that was a victim of human trafficking, and it wasn't too long ago, yeah, we need to talk about that. And basically, I'm talking, well, I'm going to talk to everyone, but I want to talk to the young people. I want to talk to the young ladies who hopefully may hear this, okay? Or to whoever the people that may come across this segment on human trafficking that I'm doing right now today. And I want to start by telling a story. It's about me, okay? I don't like talking about me, but anyway, this is something that I possibly could have been a victim of human trafficking. Now, back in the day, when I was a teenager, I used to model, okay? I used to model, and I wasn't like a supermodel, I was no Iman or Beverly Johnson, but I modeled. I modeled with different people. And there was this one group of people that I modeled with. We called modeling troops. It's modeling troops. We'd go and we'd model here at this event, there at that event. I've modeled for, let's see, many different designers, some upcoming. I've modeled for the first Black Furrier of New York, Mr. James McQuay. I modeled for a designer called Pop Top, where he made he made beautiful clothes, wearable clothes out of Pop Tops. Okay, that was my first gig. But moving forward, now there were these people that I was modeling for. Of course, there was someone that was in charge of the group, whoever the administrative people. And my mother, one day, she told me, she said, Lourdes, I think those people are involved in some type of prostitution ring. So I'm like, oh no, my mother is crazy. Oh Lord, my mother's crazy. Yeah, Ma, okay. Whatever you say, sure, okay. So, I took what she said with, I didn't really pay it any mind. And so, time went on. I kept modeling with them, whatever. And one day, I got a phone call. One of the administrative people, he was an older man, called me. He called me. And like I said, we would model different places. I lived in New York. We'd go to different places in New York, in Connecticut, New Jersey, different places. I've modeled at the United Nations, all, different places, different things for different events. So one day, the man called me and he said, hey, how would you like to go with us something modeling in Haiti? And I was like, Haiti? Yes, I would love that. That would, oh yeah, go to Haiti, have fun, yay. Okay, all right, yeah, I would have loved that. But then near the end of the conversation, after, I was like really into it, he said to me, but you can't tell your mother. So I was like, I can't tell my mother? Okay. And so after that, I got off the phone and, I thought about it and I'm like, I can't tell my mother. I thought about it. Was I not going to tell my mother? Huh? Was I going to say, okay, no, I'm not going to tell my mother. I'm not going to tell her. Shh. I'm not going to tell my mother. And I thought about it. And then what she said to me, poof, started coming back to me. I think those people are part of a prostitution ring. And I told my mother. I went ahead and I told my mother. Now, I don't know whether they were part of a prostitution ring or not. But why wouldn't I tell my mother? Why wouldn't I tell my mother? And how are they going to get me in Haiti? Don't you need a passport to go to Haiti? I'm not sure. I think you do. Okay, so the thing is, that could have been a situation where I could have became part of some type of prostitution ring. If I didn't tell my mother, that means that I would have walked out of my house one day, with my bags. They probably would have told me, you don't even need any bags. Just bring yourself. I'm imagining that, but that might have been what they did. So that means that one day I was going to walk out of my house, not tell my mother, and then it could have been that my mother would not have known where I was. And how would I go all the way to Haiti? I mean, it's not like it's, it's not like it would have been a one-day event. It's not like, taking the D train to Coney Island and coming back, okay? So that means that I would have been missing. My mother would not have known where I was. All she would have been able to tell the police is that she walked out of the house one day. She walked out of the house. She seemed fine. And she probably would have been able to tell them what I was wearing or whatever. So, I'm glad that, I don't know what made my mother tell me. I think that those people are part of a prostitution ring. I'm not sure because I haven't asked her lately. But I just might ask her. I think I need to ask her that. Ma, what made you say that to me? I need to ask her that. Okay, so that's my experience. I could have been a victim of human trafficking. Okay, this is my experience. But the thing is, I thought about it. My mother had already she had already given me the warning. Okay, and so when it happened, when he said, but you can't, you want to go to Haiti? I'm like, yeah. And then when he said, but you can't tell your mother, And it all came back. So my message that I want to yet let young women know, and young men, is that tell your mother where you're going, who you're with. Let them know. Let them know where you are. Okay, even if you don't like your mother, even if you don't get along with your mother. Okay? Even if you decide to go out and you know, I don't know, whatever. Tell your mother. Always tell someone where you're going, who you're with, who you're going to be with. Because that can always be a protection for you. Okay? If your mother knows where you are and who you're with, okay, those are very important things. Okay? And I would imagine that you, if you come across and you're involved with people and you know, you see that they're willing to, you know, give you this and give you that, you know, just be very careful. Okay? Now, maybe later on, I will bring more things out or ways that you can sort of protect yourself from human trafficking, and hopefully I'll have to look more into Ashton as well. But I just wanted to say that be very careful and cautious, and always tell your mother, your father, your sister, people that are close to you, even if it's last minute, even if someone happens to invite you to go somewhere at the last minute, you know, oh, you know, let's say you say, oh, I'm going out with you know, my friends, and then they have a friend that you're going with them to their friend, and you meet someone, and you meet someone, and then they invite you to go off somewhere. Go ahead and say, well, okay, where are we going? You let someone know. Someone says, hey, I'm going here and going there, and then you let them know, yeah, I just let my mama, my father, my sister, my brother, you let them know that who you're with and where you're going, or where they said you were going. Okay? Because, you know, there are a lot of bad people. There are a lot of good people in the world, but there are a lot of bad people in the world too. And the funny thing, and it's not even funny, is that they will smile in your face. They will act like they love you to death, that they will act like they are the nicest person in the world. But all along, they have an ulterior motive. Okay? So I want you to be very careful, very cautious. I want you to consider to always let someone know where you're going and who you're with. Okay? So I hope that my experience helps you, and so that we can cut down on this human trafficking problem that we have. That is, obviously, it's a worldwide problem. Because what's happening is that they get these young women and young men, and then they ship them off some kind of way. They get them from here to there, just like the young girl that this older man had with him on the plane. I forget where they were going, but he was taking her away from her home, away from her family, and then once he got her wherever he had taken her, they were probably, they might have taken her off to somewhere else. Okay? So, and she would have been lost forever, and in a very bad situation. So anyway, That's all for now for our social influence segment of Salon Exotica via LS. Thank you, and we'll see you again. Bye.